the heroes that compLexity has now. But we'll see if they actually go
if
for it.
If
They
it's a core Slardar, you could still grab like the last pick Disruptor maybe.
They still kind of lack a
Silencer
building hitter for EG. Lifestealer's okay, but he's not really like one that really comes to mind when you think about that. So they banned the Abaddon this time.
So they're expecting that support Slardar still. I do like the idea of compLexity mixing it up, just to keep EG on their toes and not be able to just easily interpret every pick based on previous drafts.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I think that this is already a much stronger approach by compLexity here.
Remaining.
They have heroes that they have the heroes that can fight a little bit early and let the Slark get space.
Reserve time.
What does EG want? 5th pick, Sumail hero. Sumail Invoker.
Invoker, yeah.
I was about to say Invoker is out there. How
Pick.
good of an Invoker game is it, do you think?
It gives you more scaling, gives you it gives you split push factor as well, and I mean it gives you like that AoE potential to be able to blow up the Slark inside of that, and it's one of Sumail's like kind of comfort heroes.
10 seconds remaining.
So they said they have like, you know, scaling potential into like the later stages with Lifestealer Invoker. They have even more wombo combo for team fight with the Earth Spirit and Darkseer and Invoker. And compLexity does do kind of like as I expected. They don't really want to put the Slardar as support again this time. This time they're throwing in the offlane, picking up a secondary guy, Undying. Matches pretty well versus Earth Spirit. But also cool thing for EG this time, I was going to mention it, and then I kind of forgot, but it's Crit going to be playing the Earth Spirit, obviously, because that's Crit Earth Spirit, like Crit God. You know, that's like one of his most comfortable heroes. So Zai Wisp this time, bit of a change up. Because we do see Zai tends to be more so the greedy player, while Crit kind of like lets himself go, and we'll see how they tend to opt which one's gonna.
I mean, in
be
this
the
draft,
role.
probably the IO will be the greedier one, I would guess.
Yeah, Crit usually, at least from what we saw when he used to play with OG with the Earth Spirit, he would just go like Tranquil Boots into Blink, just
and
rush that Blink
constantly, ganking, pressuring, and making space. So
10 seconds.
for compLexity, the change up here.
I like this much better, at least, though, for CoL. And, of course, yeah, like we kind of mentioned before, guys, one of the PCs does crash quite a lot when we do load into the game right away.
Just to make sure the casters are still
Yeah.
awake at the wheel.
Yep.
You know?
So just to since you guys can't really see it right now, we do have like a level 1 smoke by EG, but it's just a warding mission for the most part. Crit just ports out, puts a ward to kind of just watch the big camp from compLexity and watch the movements. They do actually, I think, maybe see Swindle Melons put a lane ward as well.
Loading back in. And it is going to be the... I like the Undying pick a lot this game. I feel like this is something that really puts pressure on the lanes against IO. It can be devastating early on, especially
Gives them,
as the hero is a strength hero.
Yeah, it gives them that dual lane that they can actually do something in. Because last time, I kind of thought that Z-Freak was going to go to the offlane right away, but Monkey's got heavily pressured, wasn't able to really get his levels that he wanted. But this time, that's going to be different. They're going to have the Undying Slardar combo in that offlane and just pressure the lifesteal a bit, but also just make sure that Monkeys is able to get a safer lane.
So just double checking here as far as ward drops. Do you see 2 out for EG already?
And EG did see the ward placed by Swindle Melons in the laning phase, so Universe easy the ward there, gets himself a nice 100 gold and 25 experience.
Yummy. Yep. Bounty run's a bit less important here. No Alchemist in the game, but still the team's going to look for the contest move and cancel. Dog pile on top of that top rune, the bottom one.
Oh, they got
will
both?
be grabbed by Monkeys, and not sure if they're going to chase him all the way out. They move on, but no Orb of Venom.
Arteezy also, he even skilled Rage there to try to dodge the stun for Monkeys and grab the rune, but Monkeys was quicker to click on it than him.
That's a little less harass at the first creep wave, with no right clicks available from Feast, or potentially the open wounds for the chase. So they are going to dual lane, and Giannis, this is a strong dual lane against IO Lifestealer.
Yeah,
Slardar.
This should put a good amount of pressure on Arteezy. Zai's just going to have to be very keen on just trying to get as many pulls as possible. He can't stack on top of Arteezy and get crushed or double decayed.
Well,
we can already see him getting insanely pressured by this dual lane. This is so much better for compLexity this game. You don't even really need to say it.
But we'll say it again.
We'll say it again.
It's a whole lot better.
Yeah. Even the top lane, it's probably not the best dealing with the Darkseer Earth Spirit, but they're just going to let the pull, get their levels. It's just a totally different approach. It's a much smarter way to play.
In mid lane, Sumail putting a lot of pressure on Cancel here early, though. Heavy harass. Cancel charging in. Just going to banish him. Kind of a salty banish there. Back off. Now, it does have a salve available if need be. Sumail with the Quas Orb can heal himself back up a bit more cheaply. So far, Universe definitely able to stay in lane more easily, as you mentioned, with the Earth Spirit help. So not seeing Crit rotate towards mid at all yet. Looks like they're just going to leave the Invoker to his own devices, and
Yeah,
Sumail, king of laning, is doing well so far.
Yeah, Cancel actually, because Sumail like quick turned and auto attacked the range creep up on the hill when he was retreating. Cancel actually expected him to have a lane ward on his hill, so he actually pinged out in the mid lane, letting his team know that. So now it's going to put a little different idea into their head, but there is no lane ward there. At least it's not on that side, it's on the bottom side. So he was right about the lane ward being there, just not on the right positioning. And yeah, this dual lane is just putting so much pressure on RTZ. He's able to farm decently, but this is the difference. Monkey's actually able to get something in this lane, unlike the last time. And they even emphasize on blocking the full camp with Z-Free, because that's the only way that EG really like comes out ahead in this lane. It's just constantly chain pulling.
Oh, Cancel. This might be the first blood, though, as Crit threatens to move and didn't actually have Rolling Boulder. There was no Banish with a DD, and I think they had a window there, but timing just not quite right. Meanwhile, Arteezy bottom lane trying to fight, but Z-Freak very scary as the zombie man gets off another decay, though he is dropping pretty low, jukes into the trees, has stick charges, has salve, has fairy fire, and has tango. Monkey's just gonna sprint phase right past him, gets the 2-hero crush. Here comes the turnaround. Perhaps Monkey's low though. Z-Freak trying to get onto Zai as quickly as possible. That tether slow is doing work, but Crit meanwhile does find the first blood. He went back in on mid, gets the kill. Then Monkeys may drop to Arteezy. Meanwhile, no, the heal from Z-Freak. The Undying pick really paying off. The Sunstrike coming in with the open wound slow. Kaboom! Nice. Arteezy will find him. Make it 2. So Sumail off to a hot start now. 13-5 in the mid lane. They did get the first blood mid while that was all happening, and Cancel gonna have to TP back.
That's a big kill on Cancel. That was a great rotation there from Crit. I kind of feel like Cancel may have should have expected after he saw him like walk toward the mid lane the first time around, but
he doesn't have a ward, but yeah, still should have expected there's a chance he's in the neighborhood.
That's the fear of when you use your Astral aggressively in that manner. Like, you put yourself into a position where you can actually get ganked up. And yeah, he does.
Is this a new salve, or did he just never use the other one? Because he was pretty low earlier.
I didn't actually see. I thought he had actually used it, but maybe Crit got him like maybe as he was using it or something like that. But
not sure.
Yeah. This is definitely a huge kill, though, for Sumail. Like, putting him quite ahead now in the lane, able to get his range drop up. Just having a little bit more of advantage of an experience as well. Well, actually, it's actually pretty deep. Thought he'd be a little bit more ahead.
Monkey's going to neutral deny here. He'll give the lane to Z-Freak. Gets the Fountain Trip. Completes the Tranquil Boots. That armor and regen very helpful against Lifestealer, obviously. But the offlane for EG is just getting out of hand as far as net worth goes. 19 CS on Universe, completely uncontested.
Great with the haste rune.
Having a really good time here. They might be able to punish him with the crush.
It's actually cool. Monkey's actually TP'd mid, expecting this rotation. But there is a haste rune on Crit. It's very hard to bring him down. And there's Monkeys might actually get turned on here. They have Cold Snap.
They're going to roll onto him. Sunstrike not going to connect, though. Monkeys with the Tranquil Boots, a little bit tankier. He tries to go for the crush. That one last Cold Snap proc interrupts the crush attempt. They still might be able to get Crit, though. Into the trees they go, winding their way through. The Rage Creep cooperating. He goes for the Boulder Smash, and then over to the left. The Orb not doing all that much, but they will get the kill. So good rotation, and like you said, really nice anticipation there by the Slardar.
Yeah, that was very smart by Monkeys, honestly. Like, he just expected that type of rotation, and he doesn't mind giving the lane to the Undying now on this bottom side, because Undying's able to do pretty decent versus Lifestealer in that type of manner.
A little trouble here for Mr. Cancel. Just auto attacks could be enough to bring him down.
The last ball didn't hit.
Doesn't have the range, and doesn't have the mana for a Sunstrike. Could clarity up and go for it, but that's a pretty big gamble at this point.
Yeah. How's top lane going? How's this
Universe
Flash
is
doing?
just having a free lane.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's kind of expected. Like, it's a
Roll
dog
Moo, pounce away, Boulder Smash, a double whiff by Crit, just barely though, as he tries to keep eyes on Moo. Not level 6 yet. This is the time to punish him. Through the trees he goes, winding his way. Still has the Quelling Blade. Crit getting juked slightly, quelling his way out, but still the Ion Shell burning, and Crit's persistence pays off. Finds the kill anyway. Man, I thought Moo was going to get out there.
Those are nice little jukes there. Yeah, Monkeys moves back bottom. Now Swindles, even though he TP'd bottom, now he's making the rotation to mid. So this is where they might do the combo. This is where they might do the Astral into the stun, but we'll see if they go for it. Swindle's more keen on just checking the rune first off.
Yeah, worth mentioning that combo not going to be very effective against Lifestealer with the instant rage.
Yes. Sumail pulling quite far ahead in this mid lane, though. Cancel's only sitting on 14 CS. Move, getting heavily pressured top lane. He does have the pounce to get away, but he's silenced, vacuum, and he's dead again.
EG doing such a good job at just punishing the Slark right before he hits 6. Once he's 6, These kills almost certainly not happening, at least not just with these two. Now the TP out, Crit's going to roll away. Doesn't have a teleport scroll, but they're not even going to bother chasing him. This looks like he'll make it out too, and that's 2 deaths for Moo.
I have to say, I think this is a bit of a mismovement there by Swindles. Like he ported bottom. He's been kind of like running around the river in a way, rather than helping his buddy top lane. And that kind of happens when you're left alone as a Slark. You're versus an Earth Spirit Darkseer. You're gonna get heavily pressured, and you're probably gonna die like that. So definitely want Swindle to be staying near his buddy Moo in that top lane.
Crit sticking around the jungle. He's going to go for the neutral deny, but guess who's about to find him? Crit. So close. He's like, guys, I need help.
He's like,
I'm
I need
scared.
to die.
I'm scared.
Can they spawn again?
Oh,
please.
And it'll be Alpha Wolves too, but he runs into Moo instead. Moo pouncing away as soon as he sees Crit, and then he's like, wait a second. I think that guy's low. I think he saw him, right? It's nighttime, but Slark has pretty good vision. Anyway.
He probably just got he probably saw like the mini-map icon and just got afraid there instead of like actually clicking on him and seeing how
that
he actually was bottom
Meanwhile,
lane.
bottom lane, Monkey's going to go down. So complexity, nothing really working out. Swindles will get the Edict off. Arteezy does not have a rage, but he has an Infest available. There's the pounce in for Moo, and quickly looking to escape. Looks like he should be able to pop out momentarily, just waiting for the rage to cool down, I believe.
Yep.
And he should be fine.
Cancel though, out the rotation.
Big commitment here. Zai's not level 6 yet, though he is close. And they're going to look to find him as he tries to tether his way out of this one. Zai will get caught, focused down Arteezy into the river. Monkeys does have the sprint available. He's currently open wounds, but it's about to wear off.
Catch him.
If he can get a crush, it should lead to a kill. Very little mana on Arteezy, trying for the juke, but you can't juke the angry fish. Swindles will move in, but there's a melee creep here, tanking up the Diabolic Edict. He's even going to grab a bounty root. He might even get Roche tonight. They can't be letting this happen. Crush, vanish.
Got him.
No chance. But meanwhile, all that chasing, it's a tier 1 for EG.
Yep, lots of space for the Earth Spirit and Darkseer. Level 8 already on Universe. Arcane Boot, Soul Ring. He's the full farm mentality build. Gonna have a very early mech on top of that. And Crit, being up there with Universe constantly, he's already level 5 on this roaming Earth Spirit. So it's very good for him getting that early level 6. And Sumail picks up an 8-minute Midas bottom lane. Zai getting pressured pretty heavily,
Zai gonna find a double kill here. He's turning around for Crit. He's gonna get one. He looks towards Monkeys.
Oh, he's
Sunstrike
relocating
coming in. Got him! Another connection. He relocates forward. But the XP will go to Sumail.
Was that blind?
I
don't think he had. I think he may have had like a slight glimpse of vision.
The creep, I think, saw him like in this area walking up. Because I think the creeps were marching. Not sure, but didn't have full vision.
That was still pretty sick.
Well, Sumail already Midas up, 900 gold as well. 2-0 and 2. I mean, set up by Crit for sure with the first blood coming mid, but since then, taking over. Meanwhile, OD only 27 CS Yannis. This has been a ganking OD. A lot of movement by Cancel, getting outlaned, getting pressured, and now finding himself quite far behind his compadre in the Invoker.
Yeah, and like the pressure that was causing that Crit, obviously since the Astral was used, they tried to go for that pressure, but Cancel was definitely keen on moving back there. But yeah, since the dual lane pressures the Slark so heavily, he's trying to make like moves running around, but he's getting crushed now just in his net worth because of this. Like he's in the bottom lane now. He doesn't really know where to go. Top lane is obviously a great place for him to farm, but
oh boy, complexity going for the ambush, but little do they know, EG with the next level ambush of the ambush coming in hot. They're going to go for the stun on Zai. Won't connect. Sunstrike finding the connection as Zai tethers out. In comes Crit with the roll forward. There's a banish, and EG looking to reset the fight. Move charging forward. The tombstone is here. Nobody focusing it. Has to infest and pop away. Arteezy coming back into the vacuum. He's surviving through a courtesy of the tether. How does this life still live? The dog survived forever and a day, and now the chase back in to Z-Freak. They'll kill off the Undying 2. 3 dead Moo. Hiding in the trees. No teleport for 19. I don't think EG realized it. But they do this without their full complement of heroes, because Sumail, yeah, he Sunstrikes, but he's just pushing in the mid lane. They might get 2 towers now.
Yeah, 4v5 in their Universe, getting the pretty much a god tier 3-man vacuum into wall, setting up everything for them. And now he's got the mech coming out there. That was without mech on Universe. But he actually might be.
He would also be a huge kill. They're going to commit a Dark Pact here. He goes down, but it comes at the cost of 2 more heroes. Now Swindles running in. The feed train has arrived, and EG collect their bounty. The death pulses from the Diabolic Edict will at least kill off Zai, but still, EG, mountains of gold. Actually, that fight a win for complexity, even though it's a 2 for 3, but losing the Slark, it's tough to say it was really worth it as he dies yet again. And look at their carries, Giannis. You've got a 3,500 net worth OD, over a 2,000 gold lead for Sumail, a Slark at 2,500. He's behind the Io and the Earth Spirit in net worth. That is a This is just food stamp status, Slark.
When it's 11 minutes in and there's a 10,000 gold league, there's a big problem already. Your Slark is below every single person in net worth on the enemy team. Mu is just struggling super hard to be able to do anything in this game.
Is it time to stop first picking Leshrac?
I think they have a bit more problems than just Leshrac, but yeah, I think it's definitely not helping out with just their laning presence in the early game, because that's kind of what you want this Leshrac to do, to dominate a bit more in the early game, but yeah, it's not really happening, and they're definitely heavily struggling. After they had a pretty decent start in that dual off lane, it's just like the other two lanes got decimated too heavily. And since Universe did die in that last one, even though he died, he already had his mech finished up. He's got another 1,200 gold, and Crit survived that entire engagement. So we kind of mentioned he likes going for that Tranquil Boots into Blink Dagger, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. Tranquil Boots into 1,200 gold already on him, while Zai just picks up the Urn, a nice little raindrop, and he'll probably progress into something else pretty soon.
Well, speaking of Crit, he's going to lead the charge here up towards top. Mu doesn't even feel safe to farm. He sees nobody defending bottom, and he realizes they probably are pushing top. EG making clear now. Rage on Arteezy. Sumail joining the fray here for the push as he alacrities onto the tower. Bringing it down quickly. complexity just so underfarmed. I can't really envision them trying to take a fight here. Mu, though, he's going to realize there's a ward because he doesn't have the Shadow Dance move speed.
I mean, this is just
that tier 2.
There's no way, like, you can't have your Slark in this type of position. Like, he's got nowhere to farm. They're pressuring this bottom lane, but Kurt's in position already for the relocate. He's gonna go in on Monkeys Forever, gets the silence, gets the pull, gets the stun, and yeah, that's a very dead Slardar. And Sumail even gets another last hit with Sunstrike there, so accelerating his farm more. He's already got the Yules finished up. He's got his level 11. He's just playing his own solo game and just setting up, just getting kills with Sunstrikes. And that's kind of like the cool thing about even getting the Yules too, is that if he does find anybody on their own, he's able to just pretty much one-shot them on his.
Even Slark is a pretty easy one-shot if you hit the full combo.
Absolutely.
How squishy he is. They will at least get his eye kill. Cancel able to find that connection, but again, you just struggle to see how Slark is going to get back in this game. He's now going for the Aquila. We're 13.5 minutes in, so if he does go Shadowblade, you're looking like, I don't know, 17, 18, maybe even 20 minutes before he gets that.
He's nowhere even near. He's even going back for a Ring of Aquila now too, so he's buying small items again, and he's not even going to get a Shadowblade. I don't think this, he might get it as this game looks to be closing out. Yeah, EG being very keen on being much more aggressive this game when they have this Earth Spirit rather than Slardar, or Earth Spirit rather than the Spirit Breaker. So this is probably something that they're going to take note of as well into like into the later stages of group stages and the main event. They're probably like, okay, Spirit Breaker was decent, but it just seems like this is just a better approach for them. It just fits with their style more, and it's much more aggressive and puts complexity just more on the back foot. Like the last game, I think it was 12 minutes in, and there was a total of 7 kills. This game, 23 kills total at 14 minutes. Much more entertaining.
Continuing to muscle down towers with Sumail playing the Invoker, pushes a lot harder early than the Alk. And they are adjusting their tempo a bit to that. This Crit
again
sets
up
up
the setup
to defend top.
He got spotted though.
The ping did come out. That was from Mu.
Yeah.
So they know they will not be getting caught trying to push this tower. But at the same time, it's a tier 1 still being kept alive simply by the presence of an Earth Spirit. If there is a hard support this game, he would be it. Along with the IO, so that just shows you how strong EG's lineup is in terms of mobility, that they can threaten to send 4 or 5 heroes instantly with the Infest Bomb, the Sunstrike, the TP from Universe. Speaking of TPs, Sumail, BOT is already online, so map control a big priority now for EG.
Yeah, usually with especially with the Complexity's lineup, you have a Leshrac, you have an Undying, you really need your early game to go super well. They're already it's on such a back foot now. Top lane Crit actually does miss the Boulder Smash, so there's no stun there. Gets Astroed up, but Zai's in position there. They should probably be able to find the kill here on Crit. Let's see if the relocate gets him out. It does. The Crit the stun off the mark.
And meanwhile, bottom, look at Sumail for the combo. The vacuum comes through. They've already brought down 1 to start this fight, and he looks for more. Complexity going to send the whole gang. But Arteezy has joined the fray as well. Sumail low, not dead just yet. Mu trying to focus him down. Can they get the kill? It's a huge one, and they do secure it. Can Mu make it out? Now is the question. A good push by Monkeys. Staggered retreat as Arteezy slowly moves forward and then changes his mind, says, Uni, get me out of here. While that was all happening, they also get the Zai kill. EG giving up big ones. Now that did cost them a Slardar buyback, but even with the buyback, Still a 1,000 gold
Radiant's
swing
top
in
tower is
complexity's
under
favor.
attack.
Super good buyback there. He didn't really do like a whole lot, but just having him there, kind of like scaring EG a little bit too, and Sumail just being in the front lines, getting caught up by the pounce and the
Radiant's
slaughter.
top
That's very
tower
big
is
for him.
under attack.
Like you said, 18-minute Shadow Blade. It might actually be a thing now, just because of picking up that huge net kill, like 700 gold from the Invoker. And they even get a tower, and you mentioned they do get Zai too. So small gains for EG, small gains for complexity, and definitely some mistakes there from EG trying to go for like these double plays. You know, they tried to make the setup on the top lane. They missed the setup, and then they go for this like play in the bottom lane. So they definitely were a bit like split decisioned.
Right, and on the other side, like they could have just chilled when he missed the roll, but instead he goes for the boulder smash. He continues running in after missing the boulder. Then relocate has to be used to try and save him, save the Earth Spirit. So
yeah, like
EG biting off more than they can chew.
If they hadn't like even gone for those top plays, they would have been able to outnumber complexity in the bottom side, and it would have probably been a completely different setup.
Probably 3-4 heroes die there for
Yeah.
CoL, and then EG take that tower.
Yeah, but now it's definitely a big change up here. Z-Freak even finishes up a full mech, so his team fight, the team fight potential in complexity grows in a very large margin there. The next step is getting that blink dagger on monkeys. He's not horribly far from. He's 800 gold away, but
He's pretty damn poor though.
yeah.
No, never went for the Iron Talon. Roamed constantly. I think Z-Freak even had a faster blink as a quote-unquote support Undying. Or sorry, Far Dart.
Yeah, Z-Freak got it at like the 20-minute mark last game, so
Might be around.
might be around the same, same similar time. But Z-Freak, I mean, he's trying to do his job here. It's tough for him, definitely in this type of game, just because of the heavy movement potential from EG's lineup. So he does have the mech, as I was mentioning. He's level 11 too, so he's having a pretty decent farming game. He's up on the net worth somehow. I actually don't know how he has 54 CS on an Undying. That's pretty surprising.
EG smoking straight towards the Roche pit. Swindle's there to tank it. Ideal hero to tank that gank, but that might not be it. Z-Freak dropping the tomb. It's on the high ground. Good positioning. EG don't really have many heroes to focus it down. Can they find Universe? A Crush could set up a kill. There's the pounce as well, but a beautiful boulder smash. Crit runs out of mana. He got up the magnetize into the vacuum, but it's not enough damage. Complexity all heal right back up the mech from Z-Freak, making the difference there. So they blow the wall, and they end the magnetize, and now Complexity straight into the Roche pit. Can EG even contest? They're going to try for it, I think. Sumail TPing bottom, or maybe it's just split push.
Probably just split push. I don't think they're going to make it in time to contest this, but Crit looks like he's in position to try to do something. The Tombstone is gone. Everybody's starting to get beat down a bit. They do have the Delusion to be able to scout out inside the pit, but Moo does have that Shadow Blade up. He's able to get the wraparound on Crit. He's able to get the setup. Arteezy getting the burst on Z-Freak. Sunstrike off the mark, but yeah, easily kill there. Moo misses the pounce.
This could be a big kill, though. Arteezy has no escape mechanism prepared except for an IO relocate, perhaps. The IO, keep him alive for now with the tether. Will be fine for the moment, but they're very low. As Moo fences around, threatening to go back in. There's an amp on Arteezy, but now he heals back up. He's got the mana to work with as well. Boulder Smash connecting on Moo. He's currently able to hide in the Shadow Dance. Now the Shadow Blade. Moving forward, looking for the pick. Could move on to Crit, maybe just kill off that Earth Spirit, but the balls are hitting him. They know he's in the neighborhood, and meanwhile, the vacuum comes in. 3 heroes into the ice wall. Beautiful combo with the Deputy Blast as well, but the counterplay perhaps for Moo, bringing them all low. Can he finish anyone off? Arteezy's working on Zai, also about to drop the Banish. Should finish the job, but still they've lost their Slark. They've lost 3, and Zai actually not going to die to the Banish. He heals through it all, survives and cancel with the Hurricane Pike away, but Sumail on the chase has a Sunstrike at the ready. They relocate forward. This could just set up for that very Sunstrike. He's going to drop it a little bit too late. Sumail not connected. It's not over yet. Zai trying to get out as the relocate expires. Won't happen, but again the vacuum from Universe isn't going to be sufficient. Another Banish by cancel, kiting him out. EG, they've bit off more than they can chew. They'll drop 4. Ay, caramba. It could have been 5 the other way, Giannis.
That was definitely a
is under attack.
bit of a big cocky plays by EG there, just trying to like fight so much, but Complexity doing a really good job of just like cutting them around. Like Z-Freak's positioning with his tombstones, with his mech, healing up his buddies, the soul rips as well on cancel, the astrals from cancel, the hurricane pikes from cancel as well. Everything was just like very well set up by them and just split up. That was actually pretty incredible how they ended up winning that fight.
Universe got, what was it, 3 hero vacuums in that fight and they still didn't win? Yeesh. Impressive how long the IO's surviving as well, I do have to say. But
yeah. Unfortunately, the big problem for Complexity is, oh wait, they might actually be able to get a setup here on Crit.
good stun by Swindles to follow this one up, and Arteezy committing on the Swindles, but
Arteezy's
the Banish
gonna die
cancel
too.
with the saves. 2 more kills. EG heavily punished and straight into Rocha, and this time it looks like a freebie. Universe surging away from the pit, and they see it. So now they know the Roche is theirs. Gee,
It would
really
have been
faltering here with some of their decision making and not on the same page.
If Sumail had landed that Sunstrike 2 on cancel, it probably would have changed that entire situation that happened bottom if he landed it on the OD Astral. Is what
I don't
I'm
know.
mentioning.
Did they know Monkeys had Blink? Because I think he just did. He have it the last.
He
fight?
didn't have it there. No, he hadn't picked it up just yet. He picked it up like right afterwards. He even has 1,400 gold more after that. So that's definitely a
So maybe they
big
got
swing.
caught off guard by the Blink purchase. I mean, to be fair, it's 20 minutes, but
yeah.
could have been the ambush they weren't expecting.
Cancel's having some really good plays with the Astral with that Hurricane Pike
Tower
usage.
is under attack.
It just shows you how big the OD pick has been, and I think explains why you were like, all right, this draft is already a lot better as soon as you saw the OD.
Yeah. You can just feel the power of it too. Like their heroes just benefit so much as well from S and Sora. Like the Undying's able to have pretty much full mana in all the fights constantly. Slaughter did the same thing obviously because Sprint procs it too, so he's able to get a crazy amount of crushes, which sometimes maybe he wouldn't be able to. Like the last strike is just like this hard 5 last strike, but he's okay on the net worth. He's not struggling too hard. He's got good levels too. He's level 11 now.
And they really do need him just to Edict towers, because all these other heroes are terrible at taking objectives.
Yeah, the next big thing that they need is like Moo needs to get the kills in these fights. Like he died pretty early in that bottom engagement, and then everybody else died afterwards. So his team benefited a lot from him, but he didn't. And he definitely needs to in this type of lineup because it can't just be Cancel versus the world.
Well, they're going to show Moo mid. The rest of the team smoking ahead of him, and they walk straight into Arteezy, but he's already raged. He's prepared for this. Good defensive Astral, but the Sunstrike set him on his Swindles. Now vacuuming back at Z-Freak. Commits the Grease. Hammer gets dropped. Magnetizes well. Cancel rushing into the fray. Directly on top of Zai. Mauling down the ball of light. We'll get that first kill. Now turning back to Arteezy. The Boulder Smash. They can't deal with this OD. He's still got the Aegis available, but Monkeys drop slow. Magnetize will finish him off. Continues to tick. Moo's gonna drop. It's a triple for Crit. He takes the whole team down on his own. The hero spirit delivers. And Sunstrike, not gonna find a kill.
Very aggressive blink forward by Cancel there. Crit getting a beautiful magnetized spread there. But wow, like the way that they fight there with the Tombstone is actually great. Like, EG's suffering a little bit to just take it out, and the zombies are starting to add up quite a bit. And there's not really like heavy burst potential on the side of EG unless they have the Invoker there. Like they really need Sumail to be inside of the fights while it starts, but compLexity is just keen on just running at them, kind of getting the fight started when EG's not expecting it. But I think if EG is able to get the fight with all 5 heroes, it'll be a different story. But compLexity still just doing a great job of taking the fights on their terms rather than EG's. And they're doing this without any wards on the map.
Whew. Well, this is more what I was hoping for. Not what I wouldn't say I was expecting with this series, but
Big swings.
yeah, this is a big back and forth. And for compLexity, I think you have to say definitely have to feel a lot more confident that they were down this much to EG. Already down 1 game, then again down in game 2 and about to lose the series, it looked like. But now they've battled back. They still have the Aegis for 2 minutes. Mind you, Cancel felt immortal in that last fight with the help of the Undying. And they might try for one more play here, Giannis. They do have some time for it. So what is the game plan? Like, where do you want to smoke? Who are you trying to gank? What's your target if you're compLexity?
I think if they're just able to take the fights, like as long as everybody's not there, it's like probably when they see Sumail go for like the split push, that's their go time. They go for a smoke and try to look for people. But they still need to just make sure that Moo gets these kills in these fights, and he survives throughout the end of it. Because again, in that fight, he maybe was there for like 1 or 2 of the kills, but he didn't end up didn't get any of the last hits there. He's still quite underfarmed, only sitting at 8,000 net worth. He's getting caught up on by the Earth Spirit on the other team. He's going for that Echo Saber. He's pretty close to it too. But yeah, I think the big thing is just like to fight away from the Invoker.
Yeah, Moo taking advantage of this opening where he can help de-ward around the map Swindles, using that Slark Vision to his advantage, though he gets pretty nervous. He's going to back towards the pit, just poking that Observer once, and he'll let the Illusion do the work. So trying his best not to feed is the last track. Both teams slowing down the pace. As far as item progression goes, other big items to mention, Sumail is incredibly farmed.
Yeah,
has not only the Ags, also an Ultimate Orb. What are we going to see here? Are you expecting a Linked Sphere? Is this a Hex? Not going for the Octarine buildup that we've seen a lot of Invokers favor.
Yeah, definitely a bit interesting to see that. I think it's more than likely just going to be the Hex, just because he's going to be able to just grab whoever gets grabbed down in that. It's easy combos. And he already has a defensive item with the Eul Scepter, so I don't think he'll go for the double, but it could be a possibility.
Here comes the Infest Bomb, Smokeroo from EG. Look for the combo, the Vacuum into Magnetize. Could be massive. Even a Dire Scan. Are they going to walk into it before it expires? Crit, he thinks about heading in the jungle. Oh, that could have been big for compLexity, but they actually go the other way.
Aegis reclaimed, that's why they go for the smoke play.
And
They know it's going to be getting taken out right now.
Crit with the instant jump up onto the high ground, straight onto the OD of all heroes who just lost that Aegis, as you mentioned. Z-Freak, though, he will pop down the tomb. Already the pipe committed. Z-Freak's got to push away. With the tombstone down this early, it could be bad. Crush comes through, but Tomb fully destroyed. OD has BKB now, though. This could be the game changer for Cancel. He jumps back into the fray, but it's before the BKB actually arrives. They're bringing this on dying low. They finish him off with the Deafening Blast. Cancel, yeah, he's got BKB. Does he really want to fight? So now just get a Ghost Walk away. That's a 10-second charge down the drain. They also lost Z-Freak around the tower while that was happening. So Tombstone down, BKB blown, Slardar dead. They have a 5v3 power play now, and they are going to use it.
Definitely a very smart smoke though from EG. Like you can tell they even recognize the fact that they need the Invoker to be getting into these fights, but they definitely had the timer. And they're like, okay, Aegis is getting reclaimed. Let's take a fight as soon as that happens. They did. They don't get the kill on Cancel, but they do take out 2. And you can see how tough it is for Mu in this game. Like, he can't really get into the fray, get into the fights because of just the nature of his hero versus the side of EG. Like,
I mean,
he shows himself, he'll
Invoker,
just die.
Earth Spirit, and this is before potential Hex.
Yep.
Although, let's see, what is he? Yeah, it's a Linken's actually.
It is a Linken's. Okay.
But like so much AoE from Invoker, Darkseer, and the Earth Spirit. Like you said, you come in the fight. If you don't die, you're too low to fight anymore.
I'm trying to think of why he would go for the Linken's. I guess just to block like a couple Astrals, drop the amplified damage every time. It's just going for like super safe plays.
It lets him split push a little bit easier, I suppose. There's no Yule Scepter yet, so yeah, there's no like reliable single target setup. So it's a little curious, but
Yeah, I mean,
make it more
it's just
survivable.
super safe. It gives him, gives him more Nth and stuff. Like gives him more mana regen, so he doesn't have to worry about like OD burning his mana with the ultimate or
That's
anything
true.
like that. It's never bad to have a Linken's, right?
Especially when you're just ahead as Invoker and you can split push, it's always nice.
They do have a sentry down the lane. Mu almost gets grabbed by. They actually pick up a gem on Swindles and put it on Mu. So this is probably the best approach that they could go for. Clear the map control from EG a bit. Make sure that they can actually farm a little bit. Now top lane Swindle, and Swindle even gets the Sunstreak kill again. Lovely.
At this point, I don't think Invoker's struggling for gold.
Why not? More levels.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's getting close to that, level 22
That's true.
when he
Being
gets the
involved in
AoE
those
Deafening
kills
Blast.
definitely makes a big difference. So he'll push out the bottom lane now. So now being very efficient around the map. 10, 2, and 6. 221 CS, topping the charts in all categories for both teams.
The tough thing is, like, even though compLexity obviously wants to fight on their terms, it's hard for them to push the lanes out in this manner. Like, if they're showing the Slark, and he's the one who's pretty much their best one other than the OD to push the lanes out, they know, EG knows that they're not going to be fighting in those positions. So, and EG has easy potentials of pushing lanes out with just like the Forge Spirits and Ion Shell naturally to force the lanes into their side. So we haven't seen compLexity really pass the river in since the beginning of the game.
It's actually been 2 games where it feels like EG have the better map control. Either the Alchemist Illusion spam and split push, or in this case the Forge Spirits BOT. The IO obviously being a big part of these types of strategies, but something compLexity definitely has struggled to deal with is that split push, that map control, and constantly having the creep equilibrium advantage.
It's definitely a bit scary to fight into compLexity's lineup just because of the BKB on Cancel. They have to get him blown up instantly inside of 1 stun, but Monkeys now shows his face in the front line. EG's all in the area.
Moves constantly fencing around to the sides, trying to find that squishy IO. The BKB committed by Cancel. He's going to run in, but he does get onto Zai. Can he focus this IO down pretty squishy and will end up dropping? That's a great pick by Mu to start the fight. Instant buyback, though. Look for the re-engage. The Meteor trying to roast him. Definitely Blast a bit late. They will find the kill on Monkeys, but he will skirt away, salvaging the gem, at least for now. Z-Freak though in trouble. Boulder Smash comes through, trying to bring him down, keep him on the fight. Cancel forces him to roll away. Swindles charges back in, but Z-Freak also about to fall. That's 2 supports down. The hammer gets dropped, making some big kills the other way. Swindle's still alive through it all. The banish by Cancel saved him. They'll get all 5 with a dieback on the IO, and they keep the gem. There's some gold for Mu.
Yeah, this is absolutely massive for Mu. This gem pickup is genius too. Like, they're able to make sure there's no wards on the high ground or anything. Mu's positioning in this fight was great. Like, he ran in from the backside, able to isolate the Wisp, and then Cancel just super aggressive there with the Blink Dagger. He knows there's no way they can lock me down in this, so he just blinks in, gets like 9 or 10 hits off on the Darkseer. He has, I think, 65 int stolen at one point, or maybe even higher than that.
5,500 damage.
Yeah, that OD ultimate crushed 2 or 3 heroes on the side of EG. That was definitely like what compLexity needs to come back into this game, especially since the Slark survives throughout all of it, and Roche should be respawning within the next minute or so.
Well, really shows that they need that reliable lockdown for the OD. Like Hex, potentially an Abyssal Blade for Lifestealer, though getting to him can be a bit of a problem. But no longer can they just rely on like the Cold Snap, the Vacuum into Earth Spirit, Boulder Smash. These cutesy little combos are not going to cut it versus OD.
The crazy thing is, too, like how much the Flesh Golem amplifies OD's damage, too. Like, he was standing next to Darkseer, and Darkseer gets ripped apart by the Arcane Orbs just from that.
And he's gone, like, tank mode, too. He's got the Pipe, he's got the Greaves. It really doesn't matter.
And compLexity is very keen on fighting, but they don't have their OD here. This
Zai.
could be a little bit over-aggressive.
This could be an easy pick with Monkeys jumping in, but no, the Boulder Smash is there. Back on back. Moves in trouble. Does get the IO, though. 1-for-1 thus far. Now Chase Arteezy getting those free stacks. That's in shift. They will disengage, so... a Slardar who I will call more of a support at this point, though technically supposed to be a core for an IO. Relatively even trade.
Yeah, there's a very aggressive to go for it. Swindle actually lands the stun on Arteezy. He's got the rage up. Ghost Scepter, or Glimmer Cape on Swindle Mountains is able to bring him out of that. Cancel's now in the area too, so.
And by the way, EG have no detection, so this is very powerful for Slark as well as Swindles.
Yep.
The Glimmer Cape, the Silver Edge. They haven't bought it then yet, huh?
No.
I don't think so.
I haven't really seen them buy many sentries either. There we go. Crit now picks up a couple.
Okay.
And he has his Yules finished up too, so he's got easy setup. He's got his own survivability too. But now Roche is up.
Maybe Invis is EG's Achilles heel. We saw it last game with the Moonlight Shadow saves. Now the Glimmer Cape plays by Swindle God.
Yeah. EG recognizing the fact that Roche is up. The OD ult is going to be coming up very shortly too, but they still want to try to make a fight happen. They're infested crit. And they're still very strong. As long as they get the fights taken.
Are we going to see that
manner.
same fight? This time, though, OD will have BKB at the start of it, even if he does get scouted. Crit, plopping down his ward.
Sees
There's
the
a
courier
there. Oh, he didn't actually see it.
Yeah, it's actually hidden in the fog, too.
So, cheeky little spot.
Cancel in a decent position, but the ward is seeing him. Crit might will for this instant lockdown on him.
This is going to be a tough
kill.
kill. They're going to try for it, so they get the bash here by Arteezy. They're going to need it. Boulder Smash, pulling back. He pops the BKB, but this time he's a one-shot. Sunstreak I heard going off. Z-Freak going to find get blown up by Sumail. He has to buy back immediately. Beautiful Deafening Blast. Good combo damage here.
Arteezy's dead though. He actually gets isolated and brought down by the Slark and Last Strike and Slardar combo.
Going to duke it out with Crit. Now the Boulder Smash pullback. Good magnetized by him. Cancel pretty low. No BKB. Can't confidently roll in this time. So they force out the buyback there. And they just walk away. I mean, could have been worse. They almost lost OD.
Cancel almost dies instantly before he gets his BKB off there. But yeah, maybe like they did get the they even got the bash on him too. So he's just tanky enough with that plate mail that he picked up to not be brought down there. Now he even has the full Shiva's Guard finished up.
That's why you get the plate mail before the Mystic Staff, generally speaking.
This is starting to look pretty scary, to be honest with EG. Like Arteezy's starting to fall off quite hard. Move pulling ahead of him for the first time in this game. And now they do have the Blink Dagger though for the Darkseer to get those wombo combo setups.
But there's another Aegis to worry about.
Another Aegis now. And Cancel is just bringing it back from compLexity.
This OD is a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you... We're going to see an Octarine on Sumail, so no Hex still. No Abyssal Blade for Arteezy. He's been dying a lot. Also, still no Gem to deal with Moo. I don't know if they have the best heroes to carry it, but...
I think they don't. I think they just don't have the money for it. I think one of the supports probably wants to pick one up now, especially because they feel very pressured with the way the compLexity is moving on them.
And Moo's done a really good job at crawling back into this game. Has not died in a while. He's still not farming that well, but seems to have a big impact just by, I feel like more by vision than by, actually carrying directly.
Yeah. Crit in a very aggressive position here. Not going to get spotted out just yet. Gets a very aggressive ward down, but Moo's in the area with the gem. They do get the stun, but he's got his Dark Pact already going off.
This is not looking good. They brought in 4 heroes. They're going to lose Zai relatively early in this fight, but he relocates back. Crit gets amped and now tries to scramble away into the trees, but they can keep the vision. The second he TP's out, they'll know it. Blinking back. Will retreat.
How'd they all live there?
that was a get to the chopper kind of moment.
Yeah, seriously.
But they got out.
Very close to being a bit of a disaster for EG.
I thought they might lose like 3 heroes there.
Yeah, at least one. At least one. But no, very good at escaping. Very nice tornado, nice ice wall by Sumail to at least get the defensive plays coming out.
And that is the power of EG's lineup. They can go for these aggressive maneuvers. They're a very mobile squad around the map. And then if it doesn't look good, they're quite good at disengaging.
Yeah. They did get one ward down, but instantly dewarded by Moo's gem. Well, Swindle's gem, which is on Moo. So yeah, EG's playing it very blind. If you look at their vision on the map, they feel pretty pressured with their map control. They don't really know what's going on that complexity's doing.
And we're going to BOT into the bottom lane. There's no tower to grab, though. That was already taken. And now the tier 2 top will be traded. Move. Scotty complete. Starting to get to that late game Slark. Going to have a big window here if he opts for a BKB, where they won't have many tools to deal with him.
Yeah, this is where you kind of want to like match up the cores. You know, the Lifestealer versus the Slark. Slark right now is in a heavy winning position. The OD versus the Invoker, probably pretty even. Maybe I'd say pretty even actually. Yeah, because Sumail just got the Octarine. Maybe OD just because the way Cancel's been playing might have that little bit edge factor, and on top of the Aegis too. And then the other ones, yeah, like Slardar comparing to the Dark Series a bit behind, but Slardar is, you know, he just needs to be able to weave in and out of the fights and get multiple crushes off. And compLexity is doing a very good job of keeping the wards and keeping the vision and just understanding EG's movement on the map. They've got 4 very aggressive wards.
Look at these wards. That is huge. And honestly amazing to me that EG has still not even tried to invest in like more map control. They have a lot of money on Universe. He could buy a gem. Not opting to. Even the IO has the gold, but looks like EG would rather try and win fights through raw items than a vision advantage.
Swindle even picks up, okay, he picks up a full pipe for himself. Interesting. He already has the Glimmer Cape, but I guess they feel like the magic damage potential on EG's is very high, and they're not really worried too much about any physical damage because of how hard Arteezy is getting shut down. But Arteezy now finishes up that Abyssal Blade, which I was going to say was the next big surge item for them to be able to get a nice, easy lockdown through that BKB on Cancel. But still, the Aegis is on him for another what? It's actually going down quite soon.
They do smoke. They want to take advantage of this thing. But the split push comes top. Crit just chilling in the trees for now. Maybe trying to set up a gank as well. But Cancel, as you mentioned, very close to losing this Aegis any moment. And as soon as it disappears, we might see Universe just go rushing in with the vacuum combo.
This is the one good thing about having the last strike here. They've got no real building hitters, but Edict is one of those things that just kind of kills in building in its 10-second duration by itself.
Makes up for the OD, even the Slark.
Radiant's middle tower
Gets them
fallen.
objective.
Yeah.
All right, Giannis. Well,
we got a game.
It's game 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't say anyone's lives are really on the line, even if you get 0-4'd in the worst possible position. You're still in the same 16-team bracket, but how are you liking compLexity's chances? Are you seeing a game 3 on the horizon? Is it anybody's game?
I'm seeing a game 3 on the horizon for sure, but it's really up to how the fights get taken, and it's up to if EG is able to claim, like this next Aegis makes a big difference, because if Cancel's able to have it, it makes it so hard for them to really do anything to him, because then he'll get the Aegis and he'll even pick up another item on top of that very soon. So the next item he probably gets is what, like an AC if he wants to go for something like that, because they already have the pipe on the last strike and everything too. They've got their magic resistance, they've got Guardian Greaves and all that on top too. And then yeah, Moo will probably go for more of like a lockdown basher build. This could be huge for compLexity here. They pick up a DD on the Slark. Their Aegis just got reclaimed from Cancel, but EG looks like they want to
do something here. They want to make that move onto Cancel. They've got it completely changed on him. He BKB'd. He looks to turn. They do get the bash off from Arteezy. Actually has the completed Abyssal Blade. Still Cancel able to kite control through this fight on the back lines. Crit getting off the magnetize. The boulders smash through. The wall gets dropped, and on top of it all, Monkeys Forever stands strong for now. The Undying Heal. Tornado connected to Arteezy. They try to focus him down. They will blow him up. The meatball rolls in. Sumail's still at full HP, working in tandem with Crit to bring these other heroes down. Moo surviving, bouncing back into the fray, and now Sumail wants to run. There's a double buyback by compLexity. Desperate to win this fight. They've committed a lot, but it looks like it should be the full 5-man wipe for them. A triple for Moo, who never died. They hang onto the gem. He's suddenly got 3K gold. I imagine overall net worth-wise, it's pretty close since they double bought back, but still a win here, about a 2,000 gold swing going their way.
That was really cool plays there by Crit. He gets the stun obviously on the OD, but then he walks over and throws Undying in the air. They made a very good job of just like constantly throwing like people up, making sure they can't get their spells off in like a great manner. They bring Cancel down because of it, but now this is the momentum the compLexity needs.
They have no wall. They have no buybacks aside from Earth Spirit, with no magnetize, mind you. This is at least one lane, Giannis, maybe 2.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
Fleshrack is here, so Swindles can make short work of these structures. And if he positions properly, can only be hitting, well, mostly hitting that melee Rex anyway. There are still some buffer buildings with the Edict, and then head right on towards bottom. EG about to get double racks by compLexity. up by 10,000 gold. They led early this game. They led actually peaking around a 12k gold lead at sub 30 minutes, but it has become all complexity all the way now. Crawled back into this game on the back of a really good OD performance by Cancel. The supporting cast playing well around him. And EG just, it's really been the map control that has hurt them, where they keep on trying to take fights outside the base, frequently relocating into 4 or 5 complexity heroes, doing it blind, and still, even now, no semblance of map control going their way. I mean, look how dark the map is.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Cancel's owning so hard in this game. Like, Moo in that positioning in that last fight, too, was perfect. He's had, like, ever since he picked up the gem, it's been like a whole new Moo.
Can't be letting Moo do this. Just freely scouting out crit, getting essence shift stacks, jumping away. Starting to play very fearlessly. Oh, look at this. Solar Crest now. Interesting build by him as they're going to try to find Monkeys Forever early in this fight, but again, the saves come out from Z-Freak, drops the tomb. EG thinking of running. Sumel's going to try to focus it down, lobs out the tornado, will connect on the Slardar, but even with the meatball, he's going to back away. Lincoln's already popped. They've committed the pipe. It's still the chase forward. Monkeys wants to go. Moo jumping in. There's the leap. Connects on crit, looking for more. They're going to have a crush soon. Monkeys chasing the urn comes through, but it's a bit too late. He does get the crush. Will the follow be there? Zai with the tether out. EG, oh, trying to retreat, but Moo's got your back door covered. He'll sweep in with the drive-by. Suddenly 13 essence shift stacks and complexity. Kill after kill.
From 2 and 5 to 11 and 5 on Moo. Like pretty much right after they picked up the gem and true sight for him. I really like this. I love this pipe pickup too by Swindle. Like, it really is true. Like, EG's lineup is pretty much all magical damage now because RPZ's having a really tough time actually getting into the fray. Undying's doing a great job of healing up his teammates. They've got so many different, like, Force Staves, Glimmer Capes, all these different, like, things to just save their buddies. And now Z-Freak even picks up his own full BKB on this Undying.
And now RPZ really needs an MKB because there's the Solar Crest to worry about. You've already got the Shivas to mitigate his damage. Even not to mention things like Glimmer Cape saves, running away with the Silver Edge. Yeah, EG. Limited detection options. Yeah, they've got a couple of sentries on crit, but it's hard to reliably get those off in a scattered team fight. So complexity cramping on their Aegis. Dare I say it, this is their game to lose. They are in full control. They've got the Rax advantage. It certainly seems like, barring a godly vacuum boulder smash Invoker combo, they've got the late game advantage. They've also got the Aegis power play now.
Yeah, now it's like it's a bit easier for complexities, like ease of execution. Just they're able to just kind of run in with their heroes rather than having to get like this huge wombo combo thing. They just need to like just survive long enough to be able to dish out enough damage. And then EG, once the rage is down, once all their big spells cooldowns are over, that's their time to shine with the Slark, able to weave in and out of the fights. And I think he even picks up, what is it, a full BKB on the Slark too. So he's pretty much impossible to kill now.
Yeah, this gives Moo so much freedom to move around in the fights. The only lockdown they even have is Abyssal Blade. And if you're using that on him, then the real damage dealer is going to go ham in the fights.
Yeah, you can feel like how, you know, obviously because of the Aegis picked up and everything too, you can feel how pressured EG is. They're completely locked in their base, and this is Complexity's go time.
I do want to mention Z-Freak also has a BKB, so Complexity, it's clearly been like a team call. I imagine probably Swindles. You know,
all magic.
Yeah, they're all magic damage. They have very little BKB piercing disable. Let's get Glimmer Cape, let's get Pipe, let's mass BKBs, and we're pretty much unkillable at that point.
Yep. And also to point out, EG never picked up a gem of their own.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I sound like a broken record at this point. I've been bringing it up for like 20 minutes now.
Yeah, it's like they keep buying some sentries and stuff, but the gem is the big deal. Like, as soon as Complexity picked it up, that's when their comeback kind of happened. Especially
when you're up against the Slark with the gem, it's not like you can just plant sentries everywhere. He's just going to de-ward them if your heroes aren't physically there to fight.
Yeah, walking up on the hill, taking the range racks, all 3 lanes pushing in onto the side of EG. Complexity feeling very strong here with their Aegis, with all their items picked up.
Very disciplined, quite patient.
That swing, if you look at the network, holy crap. Not over a quick like one fight engagement, but over a 15-20 minute.
They're gonna work on Moo here though, but again, these cancel banishes just infuriating if you're EG, really. That's the other thing. It's not just like the big ultimates we've seen from him. Just the astral saves this game. Yeah, so big.
Saving all over the place. I think he saved Swindles like 5 times in like 3 fights.
Swindles owes him a back massage or something.
Yeah.
Maybe a meal.
Maybe a meal.
Let's push in the top lane now. Complexity.
Yep, this is the other two lanes obviously already get forced in because of the two Raxes that they have. Moo looking for a type of pick off here in the bottom side. He's going to run into Crit, but Crit does have Artesian invested in.
Packing a little surprise.
They can have some patience, but they definitely want to be able to force in the lanes and then go for this top when they have the Aegis, when they have the cheese. They have it for another 2 minutes.
You should definitely be trying to take metas with this.
Yeah.
You've been winning fights without the Aegis. You've already got the 2 lanes of Rax advantage. All lanes are pushing. This really seems like the time. EG are not going to leave their base. Maybe they try for a smoke wrapper on when you commit, but if you wait too much longer, then you're just trying to do that same push without the Aegis. So we'll protect out the wave here. Lexi's still fencing around.
They have the full AC on Courier.
That was maybe the item they were waiting for.
He doesn't have room for it.
Yeah, I don't know what he could drop the BOTs, I guess.
Maybe he'll just set the Courier near him, and when the Aegis, when he dies with the Aegis, just grab it up. One of those little plays. They do see Moo with that Sentry Ward on the high ground.
It's starting to feel a little tentative from compLexity. They're going to BOT cancel in. Courier swinging forward. Moo threatening to jump, but not just yet. Universe, while they're busy waiting, he vacuums, definitely blast, wall, magnetize, the whole enchilada onto compLexity, dropping them all low. Cheese comes out though, Monkey surviving, Moo, BKB now charging forward, looking for those essence of sex on Design, will bring him down. Swindles runs in, raining down the pain with the OD hammer and more damage to follow. Sumail, bash, focus, almost dead, Invoker, oh, a leap forward, BKB still going, won't matter, that's 4. And there's no buyback. GG. I mean, that was like the dream combo from EG, honestly.
That was perfect.
They just didn't have the follow-up.
Yeah. Undying Tombstone down, he's able to kind of just free reign heal, throw as many decays as possible, and yeah, it's too much when they have these many items. They just pop their BKBs and they're pretty much immune to the whole combo after the stun and the silence comes off. But wow. I have to say though, compLexity with a lot of fortitude there coming in the game. EG, I think that in that Roche pit area and doing that whole bottom fight, they seem to be a little bit cocky. I think that they tried to fight when the Sumail wasn't in the area, so they were fighting like this 4v5, and they kind of just gave compLexity a window to come back into this game.
Reminded me a lot of the game yesterday between Wings and Warriors Gaming in their second series, where Wings already took game 1, they stomped them, they were winning game 2. Their Alk had Relic, like 600 gold to Radiance, they'd just taken a Roche fight, and he just Blink just decides to run in, dies twice. There was like a 15,000 gold swing. They almost threw the game. They ended up winning, but it felt like a little bit of overconfidence here from EG.
Not to take anything away from Cancel, though, he had an incredible performance. But you could tell this draft was completely different than the last draft from compLexity, and they brought it back, and they fought hard.
The OD pick was huge.
Yep.
That more than anything, I think, won them the game. Good play by Cancel and great item selection to identify EG. Very heavy on magic damage. They countered it. But it's a best of 3. We're going to go to that game 3 momentarily. If you want to be the 1 seed, you got to win all your series here. So you lose this one, best you can do is top 2. I'm LD. He's Fog. Follow him on Twitter at FogDota. Myself, if you'd like as well, at LD Dota. And stick around, guys. More Boston Major Group C action coming up after this.